The two sides in the postal strike are continuing their back and forth, but those that are close to the negotiations are not holding out any kind of optimism that this is going to be over soon. The suggestion is the two sides are far apart, remain far apart. Yes, they are talking, but. And the but is that unseen, unsaid, but it's going to go on for some time. The Better Business Bureau has suddenly become aware of a couple of other side hustles that seem to have sprung out of that postal strike. Neesha Hothi joins me for a couple of moments because she said, Phil, I wanted to talk about fake package delivery offers. Neesha, good morning to you.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Out of every tragedy, there is an opportunity to turn a buck, right?
Oh, absolutely. This is the thing, right? Whenever something happens in the marketplace, it creates an opportunity for scammers to pop up. And so now here's a great opportunity for someone to say, hey, well, you know what, Phil? I have a great delivery company and we can take care of your package for you. We do this all the time. But, if you do some scrutinizing, you'll realize that the website just got set up, a week ago and there's no reviews and they've got no one's ever heard of them before. But all of a sudden you see their social media ads everywhere. And this is the type of opportunistic behavior I'm talking about.
Yeah, and really, people should look to you, I would suggest. I'll bet you could probably set up a special page on the Better Business Bureau webpage saying, watch out for listing names and locations and so on, and watch how exponentially the list would grow and expand.
Absolutely. And so we do that in two ways. We've got a webpage right now that's about how to avoid scams during the Canada Post strike, but we also have business profiles for all sorts of businesses, as many businesses as we get our information on. And if you go to bbb.org and you search the name of a potential service provider, you're going to see their rating, you're going to see reviews, you're going to see complaints, you're going to get a good idea about the business. Another way to do that is to put the business name that you're about to use, that you're considering using, and the word scam or the word fraud into an internet search browser, because that's also going to pop up anything out there that's about them that maybe alludes to bad behavior. The other thing I would say is really scrutinize any information you get about them. What does the ad look like? Is the spelling correct? Grammar? Is it an email? Are the logos clean? When was the website made? Is there contact details that are reasonable beyond just a web form? Like, is there a phone number? Is there someone you can call? All of these things really matter. In a courier situation, in a delivery situation, my gut is to say stick to reputable couriers. We know them, FedEx, UPS, etc. And also, you really look to recommendations. Me, as a small business owner, I've also used local couriers before, but I know the names of a few that have been around for a long time, that I've used before, that I trust.
Yeah, and we have a couple of those companies here in Kelowna. They've been on the streets of our city for the better part of probably 10, 12 years. Their drivers may come and go. The vehicles that are on the streets with the logo on the side of the van or the vehicle may come and go. But the reality is they are there. They have been woven into the DNA of the city of Kelowna. And to me, they become a really good fallback to businesses that are dealing primarily locally, that needs to get their parcels, need to get their packages, need to get their pieces of artwork, whatever, distributed into the city. And right now, Purolator and FedEx and DHL ain't going to make it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're absolutely right. You know who those companies are, or you can ask around to get a good recommendation. So when you see all of a sudden ads or posts popping up for meal delivery services, be mindful that these aren't just kind of pop-up fly-by-night service providers. The other thing to be careful of is the emails and texts that are going to come in claiming to be Canada Post and saying, hey, you know what? We've got undelivered items, or you've got duties to pay. Or
whoa.
Yeah.
Roll that back by about 10, 12 seconds.
Okay, so now Canada Post is on strike, but all of a sudden you get an email or a text that supposedly is from Canada Post saying you have an undelivered item, or we're going to offer priority service, or you've got duties to pay. And what do? You go, oh my God, I've got a package waiting for me. I should click this link. No, absolutely not.
And
right?
it's that clicked link that kills you.
Absolutely, every time. Because what are scammers looking for? They want information, financial information, personal information. They're looking for you to give something up. So if you get an email like that, firstly, red flag, Canada Post is on strike. You shouldn't be receiving emails like that. If you get something like that and you think it's legitimate, take the tracking number, go all the way back to the Canada Post website. Put in the information there. Double check it on an official source, because these emails and these text messages are sophisticated and they're made to look like they are legitimate. So just be very, very careful. Look at where the email is coming from. Is the logo a little bit grainy? Is this an email you've received before? Does it look like something new? The best advice I can give is go back to the source. Call Canada Post or go to the Canada Post website and check it there. And so, just because that's the only way to know for sure.
And can you obtain a parcel number, a tracking number? Is that how that works?
Yeah, so you should have a tracking number when a vendor is sending you something. They'll say, hey, your shipment has been sent. Here's a tracking number. Alternatively, if you get an email or text and you believe it to be legitimate and it includes a tracking number, again, don't click on anything from that email or text. Take that tracking number and go back to the original tracking tool from the courier service. So if it's Canada Post, great. If it's DHL, great. Whatever company it is, take that tracking number and go back to the original source. Because another way of duping you is to send you these emails with the tracking number that looks really legitimate. And you go, oh yeah, this seems right. It's, X amount of digits and it seems about right, but it's faked. And so they've just put together a certain number of numbers and letters and made you believe it's true. So take that tracking number, search it in your email, or go back to the original courier's website and put it in there and see what comes up.
Can you give me an understanding of how they can initially pick me for that contact or for that, how did they decide that I was such a big sucker?
And this is an interesting one because so I'm not a scammer myself and I'm not as tech savvy as they are. But what I can say is this. The internet is a wild tool, right? There are ways for let's call them the little cookies that are following us around on our browsers to see what we're looking at. Are you an avid online shopper? Have you gotten packages before? Or are they just targeting you widespread? Are they just targeting people because it's the holiday season and they think, you know what? Majority of people will have a package coming through. There's lots of ways to look at that. And sometimes this is a multi-step process. So they've sent in a little Trojan horse into your email or into your computer to say, hey, what does this guy look at? What is Phil shopping for these days? And then they take that information and turn it into an advertisement for you. These are the same tools that advertisers use, but scammers are using them for, bad practices, right? For bad reasons. An advertiser says, hey, Phil was looking at buying a new lawnmower and I'm going to send him an ad for that lawnmower. Or, hey, he bought some stuff and he put it in a cart, but he didn't finish the purchase. So let me remind him that it's there. That's a different type of use for this kind of data that you get from the internet. When scammers are looking at it, they're looking to try and fool you.
Well, I got to tell you, you're going to laugh. I can list on one hand the number of things that I have bought online.
Well, Phil, you are the anomaly, right? You are definitely the anomaly in this situation. Majority of people, more and more people are turning to online shopping for even their day-to-day purchases, grocery, toiletries, gifts. There's a lot of people who use it and
meal services.
Yeah, absolutely. And I get it. I get the convenience, but with technology opens the door to new concerns and new issues. So we just have to keep our eyes and ears open.
Neesha, I always appreciate the way that you bring your words of warning to our audience. I have no idea why I have such an aversion to shopping online. To me, that's just a place and a space that I don't need to go to. So, someday maybe I'll get a separate credit card, or I'll do something that sort of sets it aside. But what it does do is that I get very few of these crazy announcements or these come-ons, or I get very few because I don't have a history anywhere.
No,
and if you don't have history, they're not interested in you.
Fair, absolutely fair. And so you are You are more protected. I'm sure you still get some random text messages or this. You'll get something, but you are definitely more protected. The less information you have out in the digital world, the less likely you are to get digital scams. That's absolutely true.
And I got to tell you, if you want to know who's driving a big sale, or you want to know what's going on Amazon, or all you need to do is come down in my apartment building into the lobby and look at the mass or the numbers or the pile of boxes and envelopes that have all got that Amazon happy face smile on it to know, Amazon have got something going. It's amazing.
Well, I won't lie. I've been guilty of that enough times of where I've had more than one package arrive at my door. But I do also still love the tangible shopping experience. But again, I will say, when you put information out into the digital world, you just have to be careful what you're putting out there.
Neesha Hothi is the Better Business Bureau. She is the voice of warning, common sense and reason to all of you. If you really can't remember ordering that package, somewhere in the back of your brain, what package did I? And then stupidly you give them the information they're asking for. You're done. Write that in there. You are done. If you can't remember the package, as she said a number of times in this conversation, go back to the source.